Hey guys, T-Bull here. Today we'll be looking at the Fatherland IS-3 on a Karelia map. A lot of people bring their heavies down to that southeast corner, which isn't the end of the world. It's just kind of end up being like a frozen standoff where people are shooting kind of long-range shots at each other. So I typically go to the northwest corner over here. Depending on what the team's doing and what the comp is, of course. The IS-3 is fairly fast heavy, so you can kind of hightail it over here without any problems. Just a tip for your heavies, you kind of want to point your turret toward where you could potentially be shot in long range. It's a stronger part of the armor, obviously. Just checking for shots here. I'm still trying to get more toward the corner. It's really the strong position. Once you capture this corner, you can kind of flex around behind anyone that's sitting where those guys are. So that should be your goal whenever you're over here. Here we got a turtle. I don't know what he's... Looks like he's shooting heat. Just in general, light tanks don't want to sit there and trading shots with heavy tanks. It's never going to work for them. Now what you see me doing here, you want to try and get ready to fire by the time your gun's loading, if possible. To maximize your DPM, you got to be shooting when your gun's ready. So this guy's shooting heat now. It's not really going to work. If you get into a situation where you're fighting a tank like this Fatherland with the turret, you can't really pen hitting them for... Doesn't even look like those... Or the HE shells are doing anything, but... Sorry I said heat earlier. He was shooting HE. It's not worth... just find something else to do. But... He's determined, I'll give him that. Now he decides to push, which is an even bigger mistake. Missed that shot, I should hit him in the front of the hull, but that's alright. Got my buddy shooting him behind here, put one to his side, he goes behind. And I was turning towards him just in case. You never know with these teammates if they're gonna do what they're supposed to do. And then this guy rushes. Ill-advised plays on these guys' part, but we'll take them, right? And it might take your advantages in your mobility and your, ability to control the view game. So now we've captured the corner, we're going to swing around and try and get behind these guys. They've managed to pick off, I don't know what we had, I think we had about 5 guys. Looks like they killed a couple of them in this corner. We got a couple guys sitting in base doing God knows what. And then looks like our team on the southeast actually pushed forward a little bit. A lot of times they get bogged down in like G0 versus where the red team is. But as long as they're not getting overrun, I'm not worried about that. And here we got now we're behind these guys, which I didn't notice when I was playing, but that guy only had 11 HP, so he was a one shot pretty much. I'm gonna get tracked. This is a new crew I'm training here, so I'm like repairs or track mechanic on this heavy, but especially when you get 2 already facing off against you, you want to get repaired and move, because even if you get unlit, they'll typically shoot the exact same spot they just shot if good tracks. So you'll see that happens to me a couple times where you either want to move forward or backwards as soon as you can. And this IS-3, he was pretty aggressive. All he had to really do is sit back and let him expose this lower part of his tank and take him out. So Artie's again focusing me. I kind of pulled back there right when I got on light because I figured he'd lead me, you know, 1 or 2 seconds, which ended up being exactly what he did. So Artie, you just gotta kind of know what they're gonna do and then do the opposite. And there, I can't tell who spotted me, but it's obviously the Artie. I think all their real tanks are down in the corner there. You know, not much you can do at that point. Try and run, I guess. So right now I'm thinking, should I find the other Artie or kill those guys? But again, my team's doing fine down there, so I'm not in a massive hurry. I do want to get down there and get behind the guys they're fighting, but if you can pick off, you know, I feel like a lot of people over prioritize killing the Artie, and sometimes it loses your team the games. You know, I know people have this revenge drive against Artie, you know, and they're fun to kill, I get it, but you got to be smart about whether or not that's who you're going for. So that's taken care of, and then, you know, right now we have a huge numbers advantage. We'll see in a minute here that actually ends up dwindling quite a bit. These British TDs, I mean, generally if you can hit them in the knob, it's a good spot. And then, depending on which model it is, they usually have like a machine gun port on the side of the front, which is a weak spot. At that distance, you know, it's probably better for me to move in, but I was just trying to get a quick shot. So I'm just kind of closing the distance. They end up, I feel like they kill a few of our tanks here right off the bat. Yeah, so they see that the small machine gun on this particular model on the right hand side is actually weaker than the knob in front. It's probably easier to hit too, so maybe that's what I should have been shooting at. But these guys have a hard time if they're getting outnumbered like this. And so here for the other team, they should be looking at all of our hit points and the particular tanks. I think 2 of these guys have about half their health and one of them's pretty low, so you can see that's what I'm trying to do. I should be zoomed out. I'm trying to look at their hit points and see who I should prioritize. But again, it comes down, if only one of them's giving you a shot, then you might as well take that shot. Tried to shoot him in the side of the turret, which is a lot weaker than the front. Missed that one. This guy, I don't think you're really going to puncture the lurver frontally like that, so I do switch to the heat now. I only have 1 APCR left anyway, so it's going to be switched over sooner or later. And then that one misses. You do want to conserve your hit points, so a lot of times, at least for me, and I think a lot of other heavy tank drivers, you get in the mindset where I'm a heavy tank, I can just sit there and trade hit points, but it's like any other tank. Your hit points are the most valuable thing, so try and conserve them. This guy turns around to kill the Artie, or maybe the... I don't know. He really should have been... I don't know. At this point, he didn't have any options, but... So, all in all, pretty good game. What's that? 4,300 damage. A little bit of 344. That's probably like a tracking shot or something. So, ended up being an ace tanker, steel wall, and high caliber. So, pretty straightforward. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I got a lot of clips saved up, so I'm gonna try and get them out a little bit more regularly here. So. See y'all later. Peace.